this is the great reunion after all these years. And did you write the part with Kevin in mind?
No, and I don't think I've ever, maybe one or two parts in all those movies did I ever write for anybody. I like to just write the characters and then start thinking about it when I'm done, because that's a fun part, and I don't want to have a fun part while I'm writing it.
And you were working on putting this together for a while, right?
Darling Companion? Yes. Well, actually, it took a long time to write it, and I stopped a couple of times. I was writing it with my wife, Meg, and I did another job in between, which I cannot remember which one it was, and we went on a trip, and it just seemed to take forever to write it. But once we wrote it, then it took about 6 months to find the money. That's a long time. It doesn't seem like a long time.
That's not a long time.
And then this Elizabeth Redleaf from Works agreed to do it on July 4th. And we started shooting the end of September. And we didn't have money for prep until the beginning of September. We had 4-week prep.
Wow. So you guys have done a lot of big studio projects. You've been used to doing it the deluxe way, with a lot of time and a lot of rehearsal and a lot of money. How was it doing it the rough and ready? Was it
I'd
you've done
some
it.
experience with that, but it was
Anniversary
totally
party for one thing would be one example, which is totally digital and handheld and everything.
Over a weekend. It was like 10-day shoot. And
which one? Anniversary? Yeah.
So was Extra Man. So was movies I've forgotten the titles of.
I loved Extra Man.
Movies were so...
I loved Extra Man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm one of the 5 people who appear to have seen
it. I like it too.
And it was shot very quickly.
But those movies, some of his movies are so cheap that they couldn't afford a title.
But it was new. It was a new experience for you. Did you find yourself...
It was brand new for me, and I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
It didn't make you nervous?
Huh?
It didn't scare you?
Maybe the day before, I thought, how are we going to get all the work done? It's a lot of pages every day. But the cast was amazing, and they go in knowing what the situation is. They all, were working for nothing. And you have to, that means the motivation of everybody there is very pure.
I have to say that seeing this movie was refreshing for me, and it makes me wonder if I'm not the target demo. I mean, it's for adults. It's old-fashioned in a really good way. It may have felt very new to you, but it feels like some of the old verities are there.
Like what?
Like it's well written.
Like what?
Like it's well written. Like it's original. Like it's about real people in a relationship. I mean, this is the kind of thing we don't get.
I know.
And the studios are not address the issue of what the studios will and will not do these days.
Well, I'm not an expert because we're not having a lot of conversations, but it's clear when you open up the paper on Friday afternoon and you're looking for something to see that what the studios are giving us is a certain kind of franchisable, tentpole, merchandisable thing that has nothing to do with, the characters of drama or the nuance of human behavior. So that's obvious. But independent film has picked up the slack, and there are those films there, but one of the problems is, it's hard to get theaters, and it's hard to get any advertising, and you don't get TV ads, and you don't get... I think more than during the production, the real difference is when you go to sell the movie. You got to do it all face-to-face, because you're not going to get a big ad buy.
They're still at the top of the heap as far as the distributors are concerned. Sony Pictures Classics is no slouch. They're
no slouch, but they've stayed in business for 20 years. I had
by
lunch
not
with them the
spending
other
money.
day. They don't spend any money. And we had lunch the other day, and I said, "Talk to me about this. How you've done it." And the movies they've released in that 20 years are amazing. And it's because they don't spend an extra penny. They don't have to, but hopefully they spend enough to get it launched.
It's like my hotel room. No, I've stayed here many times in this hotel, either for shoot a movie or to promote a movie. And last night I showed it into my room and said, this looks just like all the other rooms, only half the size.
Did you complain?
Not yet. I haven't had time, but I think they're expecting me to. And I wouldn't want to let them down. No, but my point is, it's really all the room I need. It's, you know what I mean? It's sufficient.
And that's true.
That's talk about the movie then,
that's a
in
great
that
metaphor
regard. I mean, was it...
You know, we didn't have pop-out trailers.
No, I mean,
and we don't need them. You need a place to go, use the bathroom,
and people don't.
down, and
And people don't go to the trailer, you know, because it's not that appealing.
But you got the dream cast. I mean, really.
That's what it's all
We
about.
got everybody we wanted. It was amazing.
Everyone who wanted to work with.
We sent
We all
the
wanted to
script.
work with each other.
Everybody who's in it is who we sent to play the part.
Now, Kevin, please don't get mad at me, but I've always wanted to ask you this. You have a name in Hollywood called Kevin Kline. Could you explain why you have this name?
Well, they used to call me Kevin Recline because I never sat up straight. And then I went to a posture coach, and now I'm Kevin Decline because
You don't like that coach.
it's because my name. You know, every actor turns down roles.
That's right.
You have to. I wouldn't be able to do this interview right now if I were said yes to every role. I would be on the set now.
Working, making money.
Making money and creating magnificent art. But having said that, I'm just some idiot.
You're picky.
It's funny.
And my name is Kline, so hey, let's make fun of it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Kline because he says
Quite
no
witty.
occasionally. But I always point out to journalists who say, "Now your name is Kevin Kline." And I say, and yet here I am doing an interview promoting a movie that I did not decline. So.
And you two have done 6 movies together.
Right. I've never turned Larry down.
Never.
Not yet. I look forward. No, yeah, I don't think I'm that much more selective than many actors.
Well, when you look at your resume, you've made a lot of really good movies, and a lot of actors cannot say that. And there's actually a measurable, there are exceptions, of course, but everyone was aiming for the highest rung.
Well, John Houseman, who ran the Juilliard dramas, who started it, when I was there, said once, there's 2 types of actors. There's actors who work and work and work and work all the time, and there are those who are very selective and work every 2 years. And he said, at the end of the career, the number of successes is quite often the same.
Might as well do the good ones.
There are directors who like to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, Woody Allen does a movie every year. He's got to know that, well, this one is maybe not, and he certainly finds out eventually, this one caught fire, not just in terms of popularity, but this one worked better than that one. But it's that continuum of working and you're honing and learning each time. Others, maybe it's a fear of failure. So I can only do what I know I can, will be a huge success or something. That's not my criteria.
But but as I was looking at both of your resumes, I was. It makes me mad that people at the height of their powers, are not being sort of challenged with the best material that is possible, and that Hollywood has declined. That's the decline that has occurred. Because if you look at the stuff you were doing in the 80s and 90s, it's all really the kind of material they won't do anymore.
They just don't do it.
Someone just recently said, you couldn't get, no one would make Sophie's Choice right now. It's
No.
the first film I did.
Absolutely not.
I don't know if
I guess not.
hardly any of my movies could be made in the studio now, and it's unfortunate, but it's fact of life.